Okay, women owned listed. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to have another informative and encouraging podcast. Today, I'm really excited to speak with Kate Paulin. Hi, Kate. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your business?
Absolutely. Well, I am Kate. I am the founder of a company called Follow the Dopamine, and we are a mindset mentoring company for neurodivergent people or for people whose brains maybe don't seem to fit in with the general societal mold of what one should do. And my background with that is that I discovered a couple of years ago that I'm autistic and ADHD, and these were things that I had no idea about myself, and then discovering them just opened up a whole bunch of freedom, actually permission to be myself exactly as I am, and now I'm here to help other people do the same.
That is awesome. Yeah, we're learning so much about this now. Lots of us are, being diagnosed,
Yep.
with these things now, which is encouraging because we just didn't have that information before. Now it's much easier to get tested. We're getting more information, so I think that's great. So, can you tell me what encouraged you to go ahead and start this business for other people to help them?
So a lot of the diagnostic criteria that's out there right now is from the point of view of outsiders looking in on what these conditions mean, what they are, how they classify. And I'm going to preface this really quickly to say I do not diagnose. I am not licensed to diagnose, and that's not something that I would be doing. What I do though is help people kind of navigate that time period after they're diagnosed. And I mean self-diagnosed, I mean officially diagnosed. If you've looked at any of the information directly from people who are autistic themselves or ADHD themselves, and you see yourself in those things, your brain then gets really busy kind of re-examining your entire life. It's looking at everything that you've done in the past. It's looking at everything that you want to do in the future. It's looking at everything that's going on right now, and it's reorganizing and reanalyzing everything based on this new information that you now have about yourself. And that can be a very tempestuous time, is one way to put it. It looks different for every single person. And so what I offer is personalized support, meeting you where you are, giving you what you need to actually navigate that time period in your life.
That is awesome. That's such a needed service that you're providing. You're definitely doing, a good thing. And I'm sure your clients and those that you're servicing are definitely appreciating you. So since we are on a women's focused, business focused type of topic, how do you, in your personal opinion, from working with your clients, how do you feel like having this understanding or working with someone like yourself could help a female business owner?
The best way for me to answer that is honoring your own energy fluctuations. I know something that I struggled with before I started my own company was working a standard 9 to 5 in America type of thing. You are expected to be productive that entire time. And if you're not being productive, then, who knows what kind of things they're saying, or you may,
It's a shame.
yeah, it is, it is
It
a
just
shame.
is a
It is.
disaster.
And so for people with brains like myself, it's not sustainable. We are
Yeah.
not made to be able to work a solid 9 to 5 and to be able to shift our focus to any little thing that comes up during that time. So my business, part of the reason it came about for me is that I wanted to honor my own energy fluctuations. I wanted to be able to honor the patterns that work best for my brain. What kind of schedule is going to allow me to be the most productive when I'm working, and also allow me to rest when I need to rest. So often there are all of the things that we think we quote should do, and so we keep pressuring ourselves, often not in the nicest language that we think to ourselves about, oh, you're just being lazy, if you really wanted this, you'd be going after it, all if then, all of these kind of thoughts that come up that are basically us like shaming and blaming ourselves, as opposed to looking at what can we do to help ourselves work in the ways that we are meant. Each of our brains, we're all unique. what do we need from the environment in order to give our best selves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just the standard 9 to 5, is just, I feel, so toxic for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think anybody, even if you're not on any spectrum at all, which
That's
I
true.
believe all of us are to some degree, like, who wants to do that? Like, who? And a lot of us do it. I force myself to do it. Some people are working 2 and 3 jobs, and they're,
Mm-hmm.
they have their side business or whatever. But it is just so toxic. I mean, you just can't force yourself to sit there in one spot for 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's just awful. So then I can imagine, if you have, a challenge, or your brain, I shouldn't even say challenge, if your brain works a little bit differently, which, I mean, again, it's nothing wrong with it, like, there's nothing wrong
It's not
with
good or
it.
bad. It is just different.
Yeah, like, so but I feel that, especially, I would hope, and I hope, for the HR professionals who are listening, that they would encourage in the workplaces more of a open scheduling. There's so many jobs that, and for you, business owners, if you employ people and you're listening, try to have schedules where, people can maybe choose their hours and have some autonomy in their lives. Everybody is created, designed with a level. We want to be in charge of our own schedules to some degree. Now, that's not going to work for every industry. If you're a nurse, you just got to be there, at certain times, but even them, they can pick and choose, some of their scheduling things. But I feel like if the business is very admin heavy, you know what I mean? Like, what difference does it matter when the work gets done, as long as it gets done by the end of the week or the end of the day or what have you?
As long as it hits the deadlines, yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's talk a little bit more about your business. Has there been any one success or aha or something that's happened in your career during this journey that has just lit you up inside and made you go, this is why I do this,
I'm not sure if I have one specific spot, but I can talk about the feeling that's there. So for
Yeah.
me, it's a beautiful moment when someone realizes something that they previously hadn't been able to understand. Maybe they are looking at their situation, their problem, whatever it is, they're looking at it in a new light, and they're able to see things from a different angle that they hadn't before.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're able to tap into an emotion that maybe wasn't something that they were able to experience before. Giving people like the access to that kind of insight, it's just such a beautiful moment. Like, whenever it happens, that is when I'm going, okay, I'm doing exactly what I am meant to be doing in this life at this moment in time.
I love that. Have you had any female entrepreneurs that you coached that, have been like, man, well, maybe this is why, like, I've had struggled in certain areas of moving my business forward. I don't know.
Not explicitly clients, and yes, on social media in general. I encounter a lot of women business owners, entrepreneurs, small business owners, a lot of people looking for tips on how to manage their ADHD or handle any of like the executive function issues that come up for us. It's a lot of tips on how to get motivated. Something for neurodivergent people, for ADHD people specifically, our brains are lower in dopamine naturally, and dopamine is the reward, it's the motivation neurotransmitter. So for people who have brains like that, what we need to do is motivate ourselves before we begin a task so that we have motivation, and then reward ourselves as we are going through it to keep our dopamine levels up and keep us motivated and focusing on what we are working on.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely helpful. I just feel like so many people, if they could understand this about themselves, it could really help, with as far as being a female entrepreneur and moving things forward. And I really feel like sometimes with being a female entrepreneur, you're dealing with multiple things. Your own brain. I'm glad we have you on today to kind of help us understand ourselves and how our brains are working. But then also, there's our lifestyle and, our responsibilities and all these things that make a female entrepreneur have a little bit harder of a time. So I would definitely encourage you ladies who are listening, definitely reach out to Kate if you've ever been diagnosed with any ADHD or anything like that, or even if you suspect this could be a starting point, or, maybe it's a next step, maybe you already gotten a diagnosis and now you just, want to take it to the next level. Can you tell us a little bit about the services that you offer?
Absolutely. So I have a few different programs depending on what it is that you're looking for. I am launching my first 6-week group coaching course. That's actually happening here this week. So when this comes out, it will have been in the past, and it is just the first of many that I'm doing. It's kind of a prototype, if you will, as I'm playing around with this. I also offer 12-week one-on-one mentorships where we will set up a schedule. We'll meet once a week, and we will talk about things as they come up, and I'll give tools and advice and different materials to help you think about your own problems, whatever's coming up for you, in the way that works best for you. So I will send out articles or podcasts or videos, just depending on, are you someone who likes to listen to things? Are you someone who prefers to read? These are all different variations of ways that we learn best. And a lot of what I do isn't about what I think works best. It's helping you experiment, trial and error, to figure out what actually works best for you. So there are those. And then I also have a 2-week breakthrough where it's a kind of an intense period of 2 weeks where we're going to meet. It's about 10 to 12 hours total, where you come in with a specific problem, and we're going to get down to the root cause behind that problem. We're going to make sure that we are addressing everything at the very level of your unconscious mind, helping you bring what's unconscious to be conscious so that you're aware of it for yourself and can help inform your next steps. Those are the 3 main ways.
That is awesome. Now, there are a lot of, and which this is something that I'm enjoying about the times that we're living in. This is a coaching, you're helping people in this area from a coaching, kind of perspective. And there's a lot of coaching type services out there now, which we all need. And I think it's great that we're able to support each other in this way. So from that perspective of owning a coaching business, could you tell us some tips that the other coaches out there, maybe they're, a health coach or whatever other kind of coach, but something that you are doing that is helping you to get clients?
Authenticity. And I realize that is, just a word, but the idea is that being authentic, show up as your authentic self, whatever that is, let yourself be seen. Any of the issues that you have, your ideal client probably also has those issues. And so look at what you're going through and what you're learning from it, and how can you spin that in a way that other people are going to be able to understand and recognize themselves in. Our resistance, anything that we're struggling with, that's what we want to look at. The way out is through. So if we look at our resistance, we look at where we are struggling, it's going to give us the information that we need to take our next best steps.
Awesome. Okay, so if we are looking to get more information on your services, Kate, where can we find you?
Well, I'm on the internet at followthedopamine.life. That is a website address. I am also on Instagram at followthedopamine.life. I'm on a lot of social media. That's my handle everywhere. But Instagram and my website are the 2 main ones where you'll find me.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, I'm so glad that you came in today. We learned a little bit, about how our brains work, and we got to be introduced to your awesome business that's helping people, kind of get to know themselves better. That'll definitely be beneficial for our female entrepreneurs here at Women Owned Listed, because, if we can understand ourselves and the way our brains work a little bit better, we can tap into our potential and be able to navigate the whole business ownership, entrepreneurship thing. So thank you so much for that. And I hope the ladies will go over and check you out.
Me too.
All right, ladies. Well, I want to thank you so much for listening to Women Owned Listed. Have a great day and see you next time.